I'm here to talk about CrystalLang. Also, like to learn about Ruby, like everyone. But I think CrystalLang is a really great language. First, because it looks a lot like Ruby, but it's statically typed and gives you a whole lot of the things that a compiled statically typed language will give you, including speed, most of the time rivaling C speeds. So with that, I'm going to go over to my browser. This is crystallang.org. Should check it out. They have a cool new website and a logo. Here's some simple stuff you can do. Require HTTP server, give it a port, start it, respond to requests with whatever you want. You could write Rails right there. If you were to go over, if you wanted to install it and you're on a Mac, just run brew update, brew install CrystalLang, and you have it. And then if you wanted to, there's quite a few open source projects, including like a whole bunch of Sinatra and Rails and other like frameworks. One of them that is really popular right now is Camel, which is basically exactly Sinatra, but just way faster. That's camelcr.com. Pretty sweet project. The one I'm going to talk about today is actually Camel List, which is pretty much a full MVC. It tries to be a bit simpler in Rails, and it obviously isn't as fully developed, but it works pretty great. So in order to show you how to do something really fast, because in Rails we like doing that, we have a Camel List generator, which will basically generate scaffold, which is pretty much all DHH did in 2005. So anyway, over to my terminal. Let me make this. I already have it checked out. Good point. There, that might be enough times. Cool, only took like 20 seconds. So now that exists in my bin folder right here. I already symlinked it over, so you should do that though if you haven't. So I'll run kgen, which is what the binary is called. I'll say init app, and I'll call it something like Utah blog, and I'll -d. I'll just tell it to use Postgres, and I'll tell it to install dependencies by default. So it already installed everything. It's installing dependencies, which it's pulling from GitHub. That exists in your shards.yaml, which is similar to a bundle file, or your gem file. OK, that's done. cd Utah blog in there. Now I'm going to generate some scaffolding. Post, title, string, content, text, go. OK, that's done. So now I'm going to go and show you the code really fast. So bigger, I guess. Got to tell me these things. OK, so everything, instead of being under app, is under source. That's probably familiar from a lot of things. Here's a post controller. You'll notice it looks somewhat similar to Rails. We have our action. We have show, new, create, pretty much your basic CRUD. Go over and look at our views. We're using something called Slang, which is very similar to Slim or Haml. It's actually pretty much exactly Slim. So I don't really have any more time to show you that. So let's just run this. Docker compose up. That'll start my Postgres and everything else that needs to be started. You could obviously run it without Docker, but this is it created the Docker files for me, so I will just run them. And just, pray they work or whatever. Live coding, live. Come on. OK, so it migrated. It exited with code 0. That's a good thing. Now the server's running. So localhost 3000, go over to posts, and say new, and say hello Ruby hack. 30 seconds. Cool. And post, and there you go. So that's default scaffolding. I wrote a lot of that. It's awesome. Check it out. Thank you. Oh, I have stickers. If anybody cares, I have stickers.